All right, so did anybody watch the Oscars? I didn't. All right, so Conan O'Brian hosted the Oscars this year, and he had a joke about Kendrick calling Drake a PDF. Also adding in a jab at Drake's now defunct lawsuit. While many folks found this funny, even some staunch Kendrick defenders, if you will, some of them weren't even impressed. So we have a little clip here we'll watch.
It didn't make me laugh. I get that it could be constructed as like a clever written joke, like,
you know, wrote the joke.
You didn't write a funny joke. It wasn't funny. I get the structuring, right? It's like, because I'm a writer. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
That, okay, like, it's a big moment. So, of course, something has to happen where Kendrick has a moment where he's calling Drake a pedophile. Like, I get that, right? Because we saw it at the Super Bowl, saw it at the Grammys. Yeah. Aha. And then he takes the killing lines and say, and I'm lawyered up.
Halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile. Don't worry, I'm lawyered up. Anyway.
I didn't grab the low-hanging fruit. I didn't repost Conan's shit. Oh, my God. Conan got that off. That's corny.
What I was
it looked like outsiders of the culture trying to attach themselves to culture. I think it's offensive to Drake and Kendrick. It's not cool.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a tad bit of a reach. And in my personal opinion, it goes to the fact that this rap battle is something that is bigger than hip-hop in itself. It pretty much surpassed that when it became super popular. And it became super popular, of course, across social media. Drake's one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Kendrick is one of the biggest hip hop stars and pop star in the world. I mean, they both are in the same vein, so to speak. It's just one has a different style than the other. But it's something that encompasses American culture. And I think sometimes we forget that it is American culture at the end of the day. Now, identifying with certain things in the culture, that's when it can be like I can pick and choose what's for who and who it isn't for. But this is something that happened on a national stage, and then it was at the Super Bowl of all places. So I mean, once it crosses a certain threshold, in my personal opinion, I think it is just part of culture altogether. This will be something that's in a Trivial Pursuit game in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't see it as disrespectful. I didn't think it was like crazy funny or anything like that. But it goes to show how far and how I don't want to say important, but how popular and how out in the open this battle was.
Yeah. I don't understand why it would be. Maybe I'm not supposed to, Elliott Wilson, but like I don't understand where the disrespect really is, like
as it relates to the culture or to those two guys.
Really, either. I mean, I guess. I mean, Drake disrespect is just par for the course right now. You know,
it's just what we're doing.
It's just what it is. But like, I don't know. Elliot seemed to. I don't know.
A little excessive.
Seemed very excessive to me. What were you gonna say though?
He seemed like he was a little upset about it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think how upset he's, to Terry's point, it kind of looks like it got under his skin. He really was. I'm not gonna say bothered. You know.
No, I seem bothered.
He's a little bothered. Yeah. A little bothered.
Maybe,
he's a little
maybe
bothered.
Conan denied to, do an interview with him or something.
Well, actually,
that's usually when he gets upset.
Yeah, that's somebody probably said no to your point and was like, "All right, cool." But yeah, I think this is a little extra sauce on this one because, to Terry's point, it's already been everywhere. So it's not like you were trying to jump on to something that's not already all over the place.
It's not something that he wouldn't do. Conan O'Brian wouldn't do. I mean, if you watch his show in the past, this is like on brand with what he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just goes to show that the audience got it. So they understood what was going on.
Yeah.
That's why I think the line as far as culture and it being acceptable on one side or the other is kind of washed away because of, you know what I'm saying, what it was.
I feel like the argument for hip hop being foundational black culture, which it is one thing, but this, to your point, this has surpassed that and gone into American culture at this point.
Yes.
It's big. I mean, it's actually bigger than that.
Yeah.
Even further.
It was at the Super Bowl, guys.
Yeah.
It was at the Super Bowl.
It's actually international at this point.
Yeah.
Because Drake was a part of it. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Jay? I
mean, I don't know.
Did it make you feel uncomfortable?
No, I mean, it was the one part of the Oscars that I actually checked for.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I looked at what all these people nominated for stuff. I was like, I ain't seen none of these movies.
Yeah.
None of the stuff that was at the Oscars was on my radar at all. That's much of Hollywood's problem, but that's neither here nor there. But you know what? There's been times where like, man, well, why didn't they mention this? You know, because it's like we're part of culture too. Like, because it's either you leave us out or you include us, and we feel like you didn't include us in a way that we find appropriate or timely. You know, like I said, it was halfway through the Oscars, when you know, halftime of the Super Bowl. You know, the whole thing with the lawsuit. I thought the joke was sharp and fit exactly into. You know, as me being a fan of Conan O'Brian, going back to his, you know, when his show would come on after the Tonight Show. Yeah. You know, and I felt like he got a raw deal when he got the Tonight Show. A lot of people don't remember that. Yeah, man, I've always thought Conan O'Brian was funny and right there on the cuff. And so I thought this was actually funny.
It was humorous.
I have no problem with it. And I don't know, sometimes we got to pick our spots, man. This isn't something that, you know, as someone who tries to represent the culture and thinks I'm at least a little bit a part of it. This wasn't anything that I was going to jump out the window on, you know. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe Elliot has some other issue with Conan O'Brien, and it seemed like it bothered him almost a little bit too much. This is not the time to play there's plenty of time when it fits to play the culture vulture card, but this ain't that.
That was the aim. I think it was more so him not feeling comfortable of him talking about it. Like when I think of a culture vulture, I picture somebody that's trying to attach them to it and emulate. I don't think what he did.
That's a good point. Category. That's a good point. That's fair.
Look, some people just don't like white people.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah.
That was actually kind of a bar in reference to Kendrick saying some people just don't like the West Coast. That was a miss.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's all right though.
Conan's joke was better than mine.
Once again,
he wasn't checking for that one. He wasn't going to say that one.
Timing, comedy. It's all.
Yeah, you know,
it's a lot harder than it looks on TV.
Yeah, everybody relax, man, on this one, man. Just relax.
It's just part of the culture, man. We got to embrace that.
You got to understand, like, you can't invite people in and then be like, hey, what are you doing in here?
Yeah. Too late.
Fair enough.